Richard invited me to come and to talk, that I had to take this invitation. And I said, yes, I will come. And then he told me about the title. Software engineering, the last 20 years, the next 20 years. So this is a kind of a tough title. So I began to study about this, what happened in the last 20 years, and try to find out what will happen in the are the people who write in software. Safety critical systems. So we had another park, we have several rooms where there are no phones, no phone lines in there, there's no internet, and we send our software engineers there if they really want to do software development so that nobody can reach them. Okay, but this is our world today. So what's going on here? Is this just fortune, or is there system failure in what we're doing? So if you could keep on going like this. There were people who thought about that already a long time ago. Mr. Contratiev, maybe you heard about Mr. Contratiev. The story of Mr. Contratiev is he was a scientist about business, and in the recession in the 1920s, he got the job from the Soviets to prove that this is the end of capitalism in the 1920s. So he did some studies, the same like I did about software engineering, found out it's the end of the IT age. And he didn't find out that's the end of the capitalism, he found out that capitalism goes in waves and always is adjacent to the innovations that come up. So he produced the so-called Contratiev innovation cycles. So business was going good because of steam engines in the 1800s. Then railways and steel production was the major driver to innovations and to business in the 1850s. And then in the beginning of the 1900s, electricity was invented, and we knew how to deal with chemistry and to produce some new products, and then this pushed the markets there. And in the 1950s, the car industry really pushed the market and enabled new business models because you could get in shorter time to other locations. You could offer services by trucks and all these kind of things. This was very influential for business. And up to the year 2000 or around 2000, it's the age that was called the IT age. And Contratiev said we will have machines that will help us to do calculations. And this will bring new businesses and new markets to us. But as it is, with all these innovations also bring along things that will cut down on business at the end when the time is over, when the innovation created a problem to the markets. This is exactly what we see right now between 2008 and now, that IT created the possibility to create such a huge amount of data that this huge amount of data, we don't know if it's any more trustful. And this was the basis of the finance crisis we had in 2008. There was a number in the storage of a computer, and it should have been the number of a loan for a building, and nobody knew if this number in the computer, in the database, was worth the money. And this is why we had the finance crisis. We couldn't prove if this number is valid or not. So we generated the IT to have the database, to make all this possible, to do online deals at Wall Street, all around the world, and this created the finance crisis. So this is the beginning of the end of the IT age. What it means, if we go with Contratiev, that there will be some more innovations in IT, but the markets won't care about that. They don't waiting for that. So the innovations that still are there for IT won't drive the business in our markets. They can do a harm to that. So we need some new things. Now there are some options, with Contratiev. He got, actually what happened to Contratiev, after he proved that this is not the end of capitalism, he got sent to Siberia and he died there. And after he died, he got the Nobel Prize. So this is his fortune, okay? But there's a huge bunch of scientists, they still develop the theory of Contratiev further into the future. And now the hopes are that the next innovation will come from organization of innovation, because IT created such a lot of information. Now, if we are able to organize the information in a proper way, this will create new businesses. It's process management. This is organization of information. It's which documents to read and which documents not to read. And when we need the documents to be proved, reviewed, and so on, this is information management. This is, if we do innovations on that, this will leverage our business in the future, but not anymore innovations based on IT. So I think this is a challenge for the software engineering per se, to come up with innovations for better business that we can go on with our large projects. There's some other candidates about health and biotechnology. The theory behind that is if we can make people live longer, getting 100 years or 120 years, we hope they can work for 80 years during that time. This also creates some business because we have new workforces, right? But I don't know if this is the right thing, but healthcare is also something to invest, and we'll see some innovations coming up there. So what is next? Which will be the innovations that drive business in the future? Is it the usage of unstructured information? So we have lots of unstructured information. This is now, you see Google, what Google does to unstructured information, or what Watson can do, this computer. He uses this unstructured information which is out there in the internet to win Jeopardy, right? So maybe we can create a business model out of that. So we need innovations of usage of big data, because big data is there. We create 5 billion gigabytes in 11 minutes. This is ridiculous. So we need to have innovations in software engineering to deal with that. The ability to identify trustful information. This is key in our future. And the ability to work with large teams. There's nothing in this world